Wow, it's been quite the journey. It's been 8 days, 9 days since I recorded. A lot has happened. Had some technical difficulties. There's been a lot of things happening. So I'm glad to be back in. Leviticus has been also been quite the journey as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be going through Leviticus 21, 22, and 23. 21 is the regulations for conduct of priests. So let's see what God has to say for priests to do. Leviticus chapter 21. And the Lord said to Moses, Speak to the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say to them, None shall defile himself for the dead among his people, except for his relatives who are nearest to him, his mother, his father, his son, his daughter, and his brother. Also his virgin sister who is near to him who has had no husband, for her and he may defile himself. Otherwise he shall not defile himself, becoming a chief man among his people to profane himself. They shall not make any bald place on their heads, nor shall they shave the edges of their beards, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. They shall be holy to their God, and not profane in the name of their God, for they offer the offering of the Lord made by fire, and the bread of their God. Therefore they shall be holy. They shall not take a wife who is a harlot or a defiled woman, nor shall they take a woman divorced from her husband, for the priest is holy to his God. Therefore ye shall consecrate him, for he offers the bread of your God. He shall be holy to you. For I, the Lord who sanctify you, am holy. The daughter of any priest, if she profanes herself by playing the harlot, she profanes her father. She shall be burned with fire. He who is a high priest among his brethren, on the head of the anointing oil will be poured, and is consecrated to wear the garments, shall not uncover his head, nor tear his clothes. Nor shall he go near any dead body, nor defile himself for his father or his mother. Nor shall he go out of the sanctuary, nor profane the sanctuary of God, for the consecration among of the anointing oil of his God is upon him. I am the Lord. And he shall take a wife in her virginity, a widow, or a divorced woman, or a defiled woman, or a harlot. These he shall not marry. But he shall take a virgin of his own people as a wife. Nor shall he profane the posterity among his people, for I, the Lord, sanctify him. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron, saying, No man of your descendants in succeeding generation who has had any defect may approach to offer the bread of his God. For any man who has a defect shall approach a man blind or lame, who has a marred face, or any limb too long, a man who has broken foot or broken hand, or is a hunchback or a dwarf, or a man that has a defect in his eye, or eczema, or scabbed, or is a eunuch. No man of the descendants of Aaron the priest who has a defect shall come near the offerings made by fire to the Lord. He has a defect. He shall not come near to offer the bread of his God. He may eat the bread of his God, both the most holy and the holy. Only he shall go near the veil or approach the altar because he has a defect, lest he profane my sanctuaries, for I, the Lord, sanctify them. And Moses told it to Aaron and his sons and to all the children of Israel. Leviticus chapter 22. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons that they separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, that they do not profane my holy name by which they dedicate to me. I am the Lord. Say to them, Whoever of all your descendants throughout your generation who goes near the holy things, which the children of Israel dedicate to the Lord while he was in uncleanliness upon him, that person shall be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. Whatever a man of the descendants of Aaron who is a leper or has a discharge shall not eat the holy offerings until he is clean. And whoever touches anything made unclean by a corpse or a man who has an emission of semen, or whoever touches any creeping thing by which he would be made unclean, or any person by whom he become unclean, whatever his uncleanliness may be. The person who has touched any such thing shall be unclean until evening, and shall not only eat the offerings unless he washes his body with water. And when the sun goes down, he shall be clean, and afterward he may eat the holy offerings, because it is his food. Whatever dies naturally or is torn by beast, he shall not eat to defile himself with it. I am the Lord. They shall therefore keep my ordinance, lest they bear sin for it and die thereby. If they profane it, I, the Lord, sanctify them. No outsider shall eat the holy offering. One who dwells with the priest or hired servant shall not eat the holy thing. But if the priest buys a person with his money, he may eat it, and one who is born in the house may eat his food. If the priest's daughter is married to an outsider, she may not eat of the holy offerings. But if the priest's daughter is a widow or divorced and has no child and has returned to her father's house as in her youth, she may eat her father's food, but no outsider shall eat it. And if a man eats the holy offering unintentionally, then he shall restore a holy offering to the priest and add 1/5 to it. They shall not profane the holy offerings of the children of Israel, which they offer to the Lord, or allow them to bear the guilt and trespass when they eat of their holy offerings, for I, the Lord, sanctify them. Offerings accepted and not accepted. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, to all the children of Israel, and say to them, Whatever man of a house of Israel or of the strangers of Israel who offers a sacrifice for any of the vows or any of the freewill offerings which they offer to the Lord as a burnt offering, you shall offer of your own free will a male without blemish from the cattle, from the sheep, or from the goats. Whatever has a defect he shall not offer, for it shall not be acceptable on your behalf. And whoever offers a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord to fulfill his vow, or a free will offering from the cattle or the sheep, it must be perfect to be accepted, therefore be no defect in it. Those that are blind or broken or maimed, or have an ulcer or eczema or scabs, you shall not offer to the Lord, nor make an offering by fire for them at the altar of the Lord. Either a bull or a lamb that has any limb too long or too short you may offer as a free will offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. You shall not offer to the Lord what is bruised or crushed or torn or cut. You shall make any offering of them in your land. Nor from the foreigner's hand shall you offer any of these as the bread of your God, because their corruption is in them, and defects are in them, and they shall be accepted on your behalf. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, When a bull or a sheep or a goat is born, it shall be 7 days with its mother, and from the 8th day, and therefore it shall be accepted as an offering made by fire to the Lord. Whether it was a cow or ewe, do not kill both her and her young on the same day. And when you offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to the Lord, offer it of your own free will. On the same day it shall be eaten, you shall leave none until the morning. I am the Lord. Therefore you shall keep my commandments and perform them. I am the Lord. You shall not profane my holy name, but I will be hallowed among the children of Israel. I am the Lord who sanctifies you, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord. Leviticus chapter 23, Feasts of the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, The feasts of the Lord which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feasts. The Sabbath. 6 days there shall be work done, but on the 7th day, the Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation, you shall do no work on it. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. The Passover and unleavened bread. Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim at their appointed times. On the 14th day of the first month at twilight is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of the unleavened bread to the Lord. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. On the first day ye shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. But you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord for 7 days. The 7th day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. The feast of the first fruit. Verse 9. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, When you come into the land which I give you and reap its harvest, then you shall bring a sheaf of the firstfruits of your harvest to the priest. He shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted on your behalf on the day after the Sabbath, and the priest shall wave it. And you shall offer on that day when you wave the sheaf a male lamb of the first year without blemish as a burnt offering to the Lord. Its grain offering shall be 2/10 of an ephah, and fine flour with oil, an offering made by fire to the Lord for a sweet aroma. And its drink offering shall be of wine, 1/4 of a hin. And you shall eat neither bread nor parched grain nor fresh grain until the same day that you have brought an offering to your God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. The Feast of Weeks, verse 15. And you shall count for yourselves from the day after the Sabbath, from the day that you were brought into the sheaf of the weave offering, even Sabbaths shall be completed. Count 50 days to the day after the seventh Sabbath. Then you shall offer a new grain offering to the Lord. You shall bring from your dwellings 2 wave loaves of 2/10 of an ephah. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baked with leaven, and they are the first fruits of the Lord. And you shall offer with the bread 7 lambs of the first year without blemish, 1 young bull in first year without blemish, 1 young bull and 2 rams. They shall be as burnt offering to the Lord, with their grain offering and their drink offering, and their offering made by fire for a sweet aroma to the Lord. Then you shall sacrifice 1 kid out of the goats as a sin offering, and the 2 male lambs of the first year as a sacrifice of a peace offering. The priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruit as a wave offering before the Lord with 2 lambs. They shall be holy to the Lord for the priests. And you shall proclaim on the same day that is no holy convocation to you. You shall do no customary work in it, and you shall be in statute forever for all your dwellings throughout the generations. When you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not wholly reap the corners of your field when you reap, nor shall you gather gleaning from the harvest. You shall leave them for the poor, for the stranger. I am the Lord your God. The Feast of Trumpets, verse 23. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall have a Sabbath rest, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. Day of Atonement, verse 26. And the Lord spoke to Moses, says, Also on the 10th day of the 7th month shall be the day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation for you. You shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. And you shall do no work on the same day, for it is the day of atonement to make atonement for you before the Lord your God. For any person who is afflicted in soul on the same day shall be cut off from the people. And any person who does any work on that same day, that person I will destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all its dwellings. It shall be to you on the Sabbath of solemn rest, and you shall afflict your souls on the 9th day of the month of the evening. From evening to evening you shall celebrate your Sabbath. The Feast of Tabernacles, verse 33. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of the Tabernacles, for 7 days to the Lord. On the first day there shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work on it. For 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. On the 8th day you shall have a holy convocation, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to the Lord. It is a sacred assembly, and you shall do no customary work on it. These are the feasts of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire to the Lord, a burnt offering and a grain offering, a sacrifice and drink offering, everything on its day. Besides the Sabbaths of the Lord, besides your gift, besides all the vows, and besides all the freewill offerings which you give to the Lord, also on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, you shall keep the feast of the Lord for 7 days. And on the first day there shall be a Sabbath rest, and on the 8th day a Sabbath rest. And you shall take for yourselves on the first day the fruit of beautiful trees, branches of palm trees, the boughs of leafy trees, and the willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. You shall keep it as a feast to the Lord for 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it on the 7th month. You shall dwell in booths for 7 days. All who are native Israelites shall dwell in booths, that your generation may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So Moses declared to the children of Israel the feasts of the Lord. And that is the end of today. I will keep reading because we have a lot to catch up. Have a great day.